Dijonai Carrington took some wild shots at Caitlin Clark, her fan base, and pretty much everybody on Twitter that supports CCFC.
Keep this rolling. A supposed WNBA analyst, Jordan Robinson, had the nerve to declare Caitlin Clark would skip the 2026 World Cup. She didn't just guess. She proclaimed Clark would prioritize resting for the playoffs over representing Team USA on the global stage, effectively trying to script Clark's future for her. The sporting world was left stunned, wondering how someone could so brazenly contradict an athlete's own stated goals.
Now, Dijonai Carrington, like I stated, did an interview on a podcast, man. I believe this podcast is called Underground, The Underground Lounge. I believe this is Lou Williams here. But guys, you got to check this out. Let's play it right now.
But this wasn't just a bold take. It was a direct challenge to Clark's dreams, an attempt to sideline her before the journey really started. The reaction was pure disbelief, a palpable sense of outrage that someone would dare suggest such a thing when the truth had already been spoken, loud and clear, by Caitlin herself.
Poker. Dijonai Carrington slipped through the cracks with a secret interview, man. Now, this interview went down about 2 weeks ago. Now, in this interview, she talks about CCFC. She talks about the fan base. Now, we know Dijonai Carrington, from the outside looking in, is not a very nice person. Now, I don't know her personally, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys don't, but some of the things that she has been doing and saying kind of don't really look right. So that's why I'm assuming she's probably not a nice person. Now, with that being said, she definitely isn't a big fan of Caitlin Clark. She falls in the criteria of like the Asia Wilsons, the Angel Reeses, and pretty much the Cheryl Suits of the world.
The audacity was truly mind-boggling, a shocking attempt to control her narrative. This explosive claim, made during a January 1st Bleacher Report livestream, painted a picture of Caitlin Clark deliberately opting out of the pivotal 2026 World Cup. Robinson's prediction suggested Clark would make the roster but decline the invite, all to focus her energy entirely on a potential Indiana Fever playoff run.
That was helpful to the game?
It was presented as a strategic move to chase a WNBA ring,
the league
implying
need
a
eyes,
calculated decision to ditch international duty.
Promotion.
This narrative,
I always said, like, when it comes to the WNBA, when it comes to the W,
trying to dictate
I used to
Clark's
say, man,
priorities to
y'all
the
need
world.
personalities.
It essentially
y'all need more
told her what
marketing,
she
more
should
media.
want and do without
And
any
I was
input
like
from the
the
superstar
guys,
herself.
people care about what
Painting
y'all
her
doing
as
off the
someone who
court.
would abandon Team
I think
USA
y'all
for
doing a
club
really good
aspirations.
job of that, but then it
The
brought
analyst's logic, the
so
timing
much
of the World Cup in September,
other attention when
right as
other
the
popular
WNBA
players got into the
playoffs were
league.
about to
Like, it
launch.
just brought
Robinson speculated the
something that
Indiana
was-
Fever
that
could be
shit
making
was-
a final
It was like
push,
nasty
making
energy.
Clark's
Yeah.
rest paramount.
Like hateful.
This assumption tried to preemptively justify Clark's supposed choice, creating a false dilemma between national pride and team success. It completely ignored the multifaceted ambitions of an elite athlete, presuming a singular focus that excludes major international tournaments. This bold take was less about prediction and more about imposing a restrictive future on one of basketball's brightest stars.
we only see what you respond to, but you dealing with that shit all day long.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of us are, and it's like you try to not, focus on it or whatever, but it be on under your pictures, not even just like DMs where you have to go searching for it. It be out there in the open, posts, YouTube. Like, my parents be sending me videos of people making up stuff that happened.
Attempting to cage her aspirations within a narrow, ill-informed framework that contradicted her proven drive. Again, check out blackwhitenetwork.com. What makes this pronouncement so infuriating, so utterly ridiculous, is that it came after Caitlin Clark had already unequivocally expressed her profound desire to play for Team USA. Just days before Robinson's broadcast, Clark had been a guest on the New Heights podcast on December 31st.
To say it, Caitlin Clark fans, she about to slip up and tell it like it is right now. Speak her mind, and this right here is why she get a bad rep.
Where she directly addressed her commitment to international play. Her words were clear, passionate, and left absolutely no room for misinterpretation. Yet, this media member chose to ignore Clark's own voice, instead pushing a fabricated storyline that undermined everything she had just articulated. It was an astonishing display of disconnect, a blatant disregard for first-hand statements from the athlete herself.
So, like,
and let me tell you,
if it didn't come from me,
during
it's
that
not real.
podcast appearance, Clark vividly conveyed the immense importance of the 2026 World Cup to her. She didn't skirt around
show
the
your
topic.
face.
She spoke with conviction
Let's talk
about
it,
her
and they
aspiration.
never want to.
The training
as
camp
soon as
kind
you
of kicks off the
respond,
next
they
cycle for like
crickets
preparing
or
for
their
the
page is
Olympics, she
deactivated.
noted.
Yeah.
She explained
yeah.
linking the
Well, they
World Cup
just
directly to
screenshot it
the
and
ultimate
posted it on
goal of the
Yeah.
2028
Sure,
Los
yeah,
Angeles Games. This wasn't a casual aside. It was a deliberate articulation of her vision and dedication to the national program. Her comments were a public declaration of intent, a powerful statement that should have silenced any speculative predictions about her participation. Instead, they were apparently dismissed as irrelevant, an unbelievable slight. Crucially, Clark specifically detailed how the WNBA season would actually pause for the World Cup. Mirroring the structure used for the Olympics, this vital logistical detail, shared directly by Clark, highlighted the official recognition and prioritization of the international tournament within the league calendar. It eliminated any legitimate argument about scheduling conflicts or the inability to balance club and country duties. Her explanation laid bare the absurdity of Robinson's prediction, proving it was founded on a fundamental misunderstanding, or worse, a deliberate misrepresentation, of the established framework. This wasn't a hypothetical conflict. Clark had already clarified the practicalities, making the analyst's claim even more baseless. With undeniable clarity, Clark then articulated her personal hope and goal. Hopefully, I'm on the team for that. This wasn't a suggestion of declining. It was an earnest expression of her fervent wish to earn a spot and represent her country. She wasn't contemplating skipping it. She was actively campaigning for her inclusion, emphasizing the competitive nature of making such a prestigious roster. Her words resonated with genuine aspiration, a deep-seated desire to compete at the highest international level. To twist such a heartfelt statement into a prediction of refusal felt like a personal insult, a deliberate attempt to undermine her sincerity and commitment to Team USA. A true moment where she had every right to feel slighted. But it's probably way closer than it sounds. Beyond the immediate goal of the 2026 World Cup, Caitlin Clark also explicitly stated her ambition for the ultimate prize, the 2028 Olympic team. "My goal is to be on the Olympic team for 2028, she declared, adding, "It feels like it's far away, but it's probably way closer than it sounds." This long-term vision cemented her commitment to the entire international cycle, making any prediction of her declining a major qualifying event like the World Cup utterly illogical. Her sights are set firmly on Olympic gold, a dream that demands full participation in the preparatory events. To suggest she would skip a critical step on that path reveals a fundamental misunderstanding of her competitive spirit and unwavering dedication. The sheer audacity of a media member making such a profound prediction about an athlete's future, especially when that athlete had just personally clarified her intentions, left many wondering, what are these media members doing? It wasn't merely an inaccurate forecast, it was a direct contradiction of Clark's own words, a blatant disregard for her agency and voice. How can an analyst claim insight into an athlete's mind when the athlete herself has just stated the exact opposite? This isn't reporting. It's fabricating a story, pushing a false narrative that disrespects the player and misleads the audience. It's a dereliction of journalistic duty, showcasing a disturbing trend in sports media. The speaker in the source material didn't hold back, emphasizing the conviction heard in Clark's voice. They could visibly tell and hear how important playing in these international events was to her. This wasn't a casual mention. It was a deeply felt desire expressed with sincerity and passion. For an analyst to then present a narrative where Clark wouldn't prioritize this, to suggest she would turn her back on such a significant opportunity, felt like a deliberate attempt to discredit her genuine intentions. This kind of media speculation, so easily disproven, only serves to stir controversy rather than inform, creating a false reality that Clark had to, in effect, lose it to correct. The source narrator was crystal clear about the need to shoot this crap down immediately, labeling Robinson's prediction as fake news. This wasn't a bold prediction at all, but a baseless assertion directly refuted by the subject. The very idea of predicting someone would skip an event they just expressed a strong desire to play in makes no logical sense. It highlights a dangerous trend where media members prioritize sensationalism over factual reporting, creating narratives that are not just inaccurate but actively harmful. This kind of reckless speculation erodes trust and undermines the integrity of sports journalism, demanding an immediate and forceful rebuttal from anyone who respects the truth. The underlying problem here goes beyond just one analyst mistake. It speaks to a broader issue within sports media. When commentators invent narratives that contradict verifiable facts, they not only misinform the public, but also disrespect the athletes whose careers they cover. This bold prediction, serves as a prime example of how easy it is for unsubstantiated claims to gain traction, creating unnecessary controversy and forcing athletes to constantly defend their true intentions. It's a battle against misinformation, where players like Clark are forced to reiterate their goals simply because someone decided to speak for them, essentially not letting her own words stand unchallenged. The importance of the 2026 World Cup cannot be overstated, especially as a crucial stepping stone to the 2028 Olympics. It's not just another tournament. It's a vital part of the qualification cycle and a critical opportunity for players to solidify their place on the Olympic roster. To suggest Clark would bypass such a pivotal event ignores the strategic significance within the international basketball landscape. Her participation would be instrumental in building team chemistry and gaining high-level experience against global competition, making Robinson's prediction not just wrong, but fundamentally ignorant of the pathway to Olympic success, practically attempting to derail her journey before it truly began. Interestingly, Clark even noted that the World Cup has historically been almost harder for us to win because there's more teams to play in the World Cup than teams qualified for the Olympics. This insight further underscores its competitive prestige and the value of participating. It's not a lesser event. It's a monumental challenge that elite athletes crave. Her acknowledgement of its difficulty only reinforces her desire to be a part of it, highlighting her competitive fire. To frame her as someone who would shy away from such a demanding competition is a profound misjudgment of her character, a stark contrast to the determined spirit fans have come to admire. A spirit that would never allow such a narrative to stand. The discussion even touched upon broader concerns about potential biases in team selections. With an earlier video by the speaker addressing an agenda and the influence of the Yukon Mafia, this background adds a layer of skepticism about how these teams are formed and whether external factors or narratives could impact a player's inclusion. While not directly linked to Robinson's prediction, it highlights the constant need for vigilance against any effery that might affect roster decisions, amplifying the concern that baseless media claims could inadvertently influence perception or even actual outcomes, creating a climate where a player like Clark might genuinely fear being unfairly sidelined. The speaker's frustration extended to the general quality of sports media, openly questioning how some individuals are actually paid to do anything when they just make random comments and look like total idiots. This criticism points to a broader systemic issue, where unsubstantiated opinions are broadcast as authoritative pronouncements, creating confusion and undermining credible reporting. It's a call for accountability, demanding that those in the media demonstrate a basic understanding of facts before presenting speculative fiction as truth. This casual disregard for accuracy not only damages their own credibility, but also fosters a culture of mistrust among the audience. This entire episode serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of listening to athletes themselves in an era saturated with hot takes and speculative content. The most reliable source of information often comes directly from the individuals involved. Caitlin Clark clearly articulated her goals and passions, yet her words were overshadowed by a sensationalist prediction. This highlights the ongoing battle for control over an athlete's narrative, where external voices often attempt to define their path, creating unnecessary drama and distractions. It's a call to arms for fans to prioritize direct statements over conjecture. The incident isn't just about Caitlin Clark, it's about the integrity of sports reporting. When analysts invent controversies or disregard verifiable facts, they cheapen the discourse and do a disservice to the sport and its fans. This particular bold prediction, so easily debunked by Clark's own clear statements, exemplifies the worst tendencies of clickbait culture, prioritizing shock value over truth. It's a wake-up call for media outlets to hold their contributors to a higher standard of accuracy and respect for the athletes they cover, ensuring that the narratives presented are grounded in reality, not unfounded speculation, or else suffer the consequences of losing all credibility. Ultimately, Caitlin Clark's unwavering passion for international competition, her clear ambition for the World Cup and the Olympics, stands in stark contrast to the manufactured narrative attempting to sideline her. Her explicit statements are not just words. They are a powerful assertion of her will, a refusal to let anyone else dictate her dreams. The attempt to paint her as someone who would skip such crucial events was not just inaccurate, but a profound disrespect to her competitive spirit. It proved once again that true athletes will always speak for themselves, no matter how loudly others try to speak over them or try to not let them pursue their own destiny.